What's up, everyone? My name's Jump, and today we're going to be opening a Sorcery Contested Realm 4 Elements Preconstructed deck from the Kickstarter. As you guys can see, this one is technically open. I did buy this technically used. So we are just going to get right into it. But yeah, it's a good... The Kickstarter box itself was actually pretty sturdy in itself. And you can see the 4 elements here. We got air. This is the water deck. Here is the air deck. We got earth. And we got fire. So, and I think normally if it was sealed, it does come with a booster pack. Again, I bought this open without the booster pack, you know, at a discount price. Has a little instruction booklet for the rules here to play sorcery. There is a much detailed PDF file if you go to their website. Probably scanning this QR code will get you that PDF, so I'm going to leave that on the side. It does come with about 1/4 size card here, which has tokens, and then I think these are the rubble cards. I'm going to put these right there. And yeah, some rubble cards here. Rubble provides no mana. And we'll talk about the rarity system here as we open up these decks. And then these little tokens, very, very small cards. Like I said, about, you know, 1/4 the size of a normal card here. But we got foot soldiers, different arts here. We got some frogs, some burned tokens, and then looks like some flooded tokens. So that's kind of pretty much what you get in there. So I'm going to put these on the side for now also. So let's go ahead and get started. We're actually going to go through each of these one at a time. Let's go ahead and start with this water deck. Alright. So yeah, Kickstarter for Sorcery started, I believe, last year. I was a backer. We were checking prices right now. Prices are pretty high for boxes. They're like $700, $800, $900 right now, I think. And then if you're in the Kickstarter, I think boxes were like $150 or something like that. So, like I said, I was a previous backer, but I kind of sold my pledge and then kind of rebought some stuff with the profit I made. And so wanted to get some precons here. So we're gonna crack this open like that, so you could see had a little styrofoam kind of guess stopping it from moving around. And we have the water deck, so let me pick this up here. So we got the Avatar of Water. Tap, play, or draw a site. Flood a site adjacent to your body of water. Until you do so, you may teleport here again. So I had the privilege to play all 4 decks the other week, and they all have very distinct play styles. So as you can see here, water likes to flood the arena here, and usually it's I think 5x4 grid. And I don't have a sorcery playmat in front of me here, but Avatar of Water. And we have the Diluvian Kraken. So just kind of real quick here, and then we'll kind of speed up. We got the mana cost, so this costs 8 mana. These little symbols are what they call thresholds, so you need 3 land sites with 3 water threshold here. And this is their attack and defense. So this guy is a very big Kraken guy with 8 attack and 8 defense. It says here an elite monster of, what is that? Benthic horror. So the rarity system is ordinary, exceptional, elite, and unique. Ordinary, you're allowed 4 copies, so they're like the common. Exceptional is like you're allowed 3 copies. Those are the uncommon. Elites are the rares. You get 2 copies. And then uniques are the like mythic or highest rarity. You'll allow 1 in your deck. So this guy has submerged, tap surface to strike each other unit nearby. So that's pretty strong card. We have the Unland Angler, an elite beast here. Guile Sirens, Tide Naiads. More Tide Naiads. Okay, here's some ordinary Deep Sea Mermaids. Deep Sea Mermaids. And Nui Undine, if I'm pronouncing that right. But you can see here the art is pretty good. Very 90s-esque, you know, fantasy art here. All hand-drawn art. You can see the art at, and then this is the alpha symbol if you're looking really close. That's how you kind of differentiate between alpha and later beta coming out in October. So you see the artist name there. We got Swan Maidens, Swamp Buffalo. Whoops, just totally dropped that card. And gonna keep going. Coral Reef Kelpie, another one. Some polar bears. Looks like they are a 2/2 polar bear. These ones are actually pretty cool to play. They will start, usually you'll play at the bottom here, and they can actually move across the realm and go to the top where your opponent's avatar are. Sedge crabs. We got Mega Amoeba. So this one was fun to play. He kind of moves around and gets stronger as he moves around. We have Brobdingnag Bullfrog. So this card was actually fun to play. He actually swallows up a minion as you enter the field, and that's what this Genesis ability is. A Genesis just means activate when it enters the realm. So, but yeah, he swallows something and they're like disabled inside his belly pretty much. It was actually a pretty unique interaction and had some questions when I first played that. We got Sea Serpents, Ordinary Beast. We got Pirate Ship. There we go. Some Pirates of the Caribbean. We got Marine Voyage, Dodge Roll. We got Drown. So submerging. That's like kind of like monster removal. If you are on a water site, which we'll see the kind of like the sites and the lands here in a minute, you submerge it and they ain't got submerged. They just die. So you just drown stuff pretty much. And then the lands have their equivalent called Burrow. So we got Frost Nova here, Ice Lance, Riptide, Upwelling, Flood, Wrath of the Sea, Sunken Treasure. This card was fun. You kind of sink it beneath a land. So there's like subsurfaces, and we'll talk about here once we get into these atlases here. And then if one of your minions pull it to the surface, you get to draw 2 cards, which is, you know, pretty cool. And now we have the Atlas cards. So I didn't even show you guys the back. So there's an Atlas. So Atlas are like the land system, the mana system, and then here's the spell book. So you get 40 cards in your spell book, 25 cards in your land, I believe, if I recall correctly. So you got a Spring River here, Ordinary Sight, again, that's the little threshold symbol. And you would just play it, you know, in the grid here if I were to have a 5x4 grid. But you get some Spring Rivers. So this one lets you look at your next spell. You can put it on the bottom of your spell book or keep it on top. So, you know, those with akin to Magic, that's something called Scry. So you're scrying a lot with the water deck. It likes to flood the board. You know, your minions are swimming everywhere. You're trying to drown other opponent's minions. And it's kind of control-y. It does have some big creatures too. But it's a little control-y there, the way the water deck plays. But I had a lot of fun playing the water deck. So we got Autumn River and Undertow, Floodplain. But you can see here the art. You know, with the pre-constructed decks, there's no foils or anything. But the foiling I felt when I played the other week here has like raised lettering, and then you get a full art on the back, which was pretty cool. So we got Tadpole Pool, and that's a unique site actually. So you get 3 threshold, as long as you have 3 threshold, water threshold, Genesis, summon 3 submerged frog tokens. So that's why they gave you some frog tokens in the pre-constructed decks. We have Maelstrom. This one was a very, not overpowered card, but very useful for the water deck because it actually pulls opponent's minions into your body of water, which is like your land connections, or sorry, your water connections. And then Island Leviathan. So this guy actually turns into a big 8/8 monster if you have 8 water threshold, which was pretty cool. I got to play this card too. And he was just a big beefy monster, just kind of roaming the realm. So that's the water deck. I'm just going to move that over here. So the Avatar of Water, controlling, Let's go ahead and do the fire deck next here. But yeah, Sorcery is so far a lot of fun to play. I'm enjoying every bit of it. I am excited for beta to come out. I'll crack some packs. Oh no, I just totally ripped my box there, but planning to put these in deck boxes anyway, so all good. So there we go. Nothing a little tape won't fix here. So we got the Avatar of Fire next. So this is tap, play or draw sight. So all avatars have that. Now talking about avatars, you see their health here. So once you get down to 0, you go to something called Death's Door. And then you need to get one final hit on your opponent to actually kill them and win the game. You have a damage marker over here. So this Avatar of Fire does 1. Most of these, I think all these avatars have 20 health and 1 damage. Now, their second tap ability is usually their special ability. Like you saw with the water one, they can flood a land pretty much and teleport to it. This one turns your fire sites, so these are those land cards again, atlases, into fireballs. And we'll see what the fireball does here, but it's kind of like a damage spell pretty much. So, Avatar Fire. So these are akin to burn decks, you know. It could be like aggro decks. Technically, you probably build any of these aggro low-cost cards, but lots of burn spells, lots of fire, lots of kind of like continuous damage on the board. So first card we have is the Ancient Dragon, Airborne. Tap, deal 4 damage to each other unit at target location nearby. So this guy was the MVP when I played with the fire deck. You know, dragons are always cool. So 6 strength, 6 defense there. We have Colicky Dragon Knights. This guy was also the MVP. He actually shoots a projectile, which just means it shoots in cardinal directions, north, east, south, or west, until it hits something. So it just kind of shoots 1 damage wherever it's going to hit next. So that was really cool. So exceptional dragon there. We have Incinerate, some ordinary magic. Here's Fire Bolts. So again, 3 projectiles, 1 damage each. Heat Ray. And here's the Fireball. So this is what your sights would turn into with the Avatar's ability here. So I'm just going to go a little quick. Minor Explosion. So lots of booming bombs. Here's Major Explosion. This card was actually really good too. You can see here this has a little grid. So you can target a location 2 steps away. And then, so the 7 would be your epicenter pretty much. And then around, they call it nearby, would be dealt these damage numbers around here. So that was, you know, it's kind of like a board wipe pretty much. So Major Explosion, but you can see cost 7, needs 2 fire threshold. Wildfire, this one kind of, those, if you guys remember the burn tokens, kind of spreads those around and deals a lot of damage. Blaze, really cool card here. Quarrelsome Kobolds, so little goblin guys. Secret Scarabs, these guys are fun, you know. Here's a new ability here called Deathrite. So pretty much when they die or when a minion kills them, that's when you activate the ability. So opposite of Genesis, pretty much. And these guys kind of, they explode when they die. So Sacred Scarabs. Rao Dromedary, little camel. We have Pit Vipers, snakes. So there's Burrowing and Lethal. Lethal means like pretty much like any hit will kill that minion. So this guy attacks like an 8/8. It's just going to die. Burrowing means they can go underground on land sites. You know, whereas Submerged from the water deck, you can go underwater. So Pit Vipers, Ogre Goons. We have Clamor of Harpies. I didn't mention Airborne. Airborne just means they fly. They pretty much cannot be targeted by ground units, but they can... so most cards, when they move, they either move, like, again, north, east, south, or west. Airborne characters can move diagonally, too. But there's a lot of nuance and rules here. Kind of just talking about the basics. So we got Bull Demons of Adum, or Adum. These guys are pretty cool. They kind of move 3 steps in a cardinal direction, and they strike each untapped unit there. So they just kind of attack a lot. We got Petrosian Cavalry, Rimland Nomads, so movement +1, takes no damage from deserts. You're going to see the kind of the play style of the fire deck is a lot of burn spells, little 1 damage pings everywhere. Wayfarer Pilgrim. We got Doomsday Prophet. Nearby units take double damage except from strike. So, you know, you want to double up on your major explosions, play this guy. Sandworms. Got some tremors there. You got a little guy on a horse getting eaten by a sandworm. Will-O-the-Wisp. So here's a new thing called Void Walk. So typically you got to play your minions on an Atlas. Void Walk, you could just place it in the void if there's no land. So these guys are kind of like just moving through space pretty much. We got Infernal Legion. Drums of Doom. So you can see little creepy faces on there. So here's the Atlas cards for the fire deck. Red Desert. So you can see this Genesis, deal 1 damage to each minion and top target nearby site. So there you go. Like I said, lots of ping damage. You just play this, deal 1, play this, deal 1. So Red Desert, Red Desert, Red Desert, Remote Desert. So lots of deserts. Air Desert. It's getting hot in here. We got Shifting Sands. There's one card I actually really like in here. It looks really cool. Standing Stones, you know, a little Stonehenge action there. Vesuvius, this is the fun card. So you got 3 fire threshold, sacrifice it. Each unit occupying nearby sites take 3 damage. So just pretty much a big explosion everywhere. And then we got this guy here too, River of Flame, Fire Spellcaster. So you can actually cast your spells from this Atlas, from this site. So that was pretty cool too. And then we have Cornerstone, pretty much play on a corner of the realm. So that is the fire deck. That one, again, does a lot of burn damage, plays a lot of spells, and shoots fireballs. So if you like that, that's probably what you will be geared towards. Let's go ahead and open up the Earth deck next. So hopefully I don't rip the box this time. So we have the Earth deck. Let me slowly open this. I wish they, there we go, made it a little bit easier to open, but all is well ends well. All right. So the Earth deck, here we go. Little box here. Put it right there. So the Avatar of Earth. There you go. So this, her special ability is you have +1 power for each nearby Earth site. So Avatar of Earth, Avatar is pretty beefy. She gets pretty strong, you know, just playing land sites here and there. She was actually really fun too. She summons a lot of chump blockers. So if you guys are familiar with that term, it's just a bunch of little dudes that block pretty much. Little 1/1s here and there. So we got King of the Realm. So this guy gives all your mortals +1. You control all mortals. So this guy's, you know, King of the Realm, some Game of Thrones going on here. We have Queen of Midland. So there you go. Every king has a queen. Draw some cards, unique mortals. Midland Army. So you can see here, again, summoning a lot of little foot soldiers. Those little foot soldier tokens. They can kind of like go into like ballistas and trebuchets and start shooting stuff randomly. So we got Land Surveyor, House Arn Bannerman. Got 2 of those. We got, what are these? Scent Hounds. We got Belmont Longbowmen. So here's a new ability called Range that pretty much lets them attack from 1 space away. So that's very good because when you do combat in Sorcery, you guys attack each other at the same time. So the minions will attack each other at the same time. So Range can just shoot, you know, shoot first, ask questions later. So Belmont Bowmen, Frontier Settlers. Pretty cool art there. We got Wild Boars. Let me move it over here. Amazon Warriors. Very tall ladies there. Autumn Unicorn. Cave Trolls. So 3 of those. We got Pudge Butcher. Censor that real quick. Oh, there we go. Another card down. We got Mountain Giant. Occupies 4 locations. So this guy's a big dude here. Just kind of takes up 4 squares pretty much. We got Stone Gaze Gorgons. Ratanus Titan. So this guy's strike each enemy here when it comes into the field. That's pretty good, you know. Your opponent's got a bunch of stuff and dudes here. He just kind of hits everybody. Overpower. Overpower. We got Bury, so that's the kind of opposite, let me focus there, of Drown. You pretty much bury a monster or a minion underneath the ground. So kind of like an insta-kill there. Earthquake. We got Entangle Terrain. We got Craterize. Look at that. That's an explosion. There's a Siege Ballista. That's the little kind of weapons I was talking about. Like so a bearer and another ally. So usually you'll like throw 2 foot soldiers on here and they just kind of shoot 3 damage 2 steps away. We got Screaming Skull. I actually really like this art. So whenever a bearer attacks and kills an enemy, it untaps. We got Spear of Destiny. So unique weapon of divine retribution. So there we go. And then we got the land atlas cards. I gotta keep calling them sites or atlases. We got Rustic Villages. So you can see that ability. You may pay 1 to summon a foot soldier token here. So lots of these cards will do that. Humble Village does the same thing. So you got lots of foot soldiers all over the place. Simple Village, same thing. We got Holy Ground. Each avatar nearby heals 3 life. That's pretty cool. Gain some life gain here. Ranged units atop the site gain +1 range. So now they can shoot 2 spaces away. That's actually pretty good. And then we got Quagmire. So makes nearby sites immobile until your next turn. That is an exceptional sight. And that is it for the Earth deck. So again, lots of foot soldiers, you know, they more of like kingdoms and houses, and they got weapons and ballistas and all that good stuff here. So I'm gonna put it right there. That is the Avatar of Earth. And the last one we have is the pre-constructed deck for the air. So we got water, earth, and fire. And now we got air. So you guys can think already, kind of from the airborne wording there. Air likes to play airborne units. They fly, they kind of teleport. They got a lot of interruption, so to speak. Now, Sorcery doesn't have anything like instants or anything like that, except like 2 or 3 cards that actually can be played on the opponent's turn. But besides that, it's mostly, again, airborne units, and they kill ground units. There's like a atlas in here that, like, if you enter, you just die if you don't fly. So, got Avatar of Air. Her special ability, once on your turn, if you occupy an air site, you may fly a unit atop it to a nearby site. So you pretty much chuck one of your guys somewhere else. Avatar of Air. You got Lightning Bolt. So deal 3 damage to a random unit at target location. You know, that's a classic fantasy spell, Lightning Bolt. 3 of those. We got Chain Lightning. So, you know, instead of fireballs, you could shoot lightning instead if you want to play the air deck. Or, heck, why not just combine both of them and do both spells. So, we got Chain Lightning. We got Thunderstorm. So, some more lightning things here. We got an Apprentice Wizard. So, Genesis, draw a card. It has a spellcaster ability. So, likes to play spells too. We got a Grandmaster Wizard. So, it's this guy all grown up once he gets all his magic powers. So, on play, pretty much draw 3 spells. That's pretty good. We got Blink. So, like I said, lots of teleporting, lots of kind of moving around shenanigans. Waypoint Portal. Cloud Spirit. Let me zoom in better here. Cloud Spirit. Spectral Stalker has Void Walk. Again, can go into a non realm without a atlas in there. Dead of Night Demon. That looks very scary. Would not want to see that while I'm sleeping. We have Headless Haunt. That's kind of pretty cool. Headless Haunt. Snow Leopard. 2 of those. Plumed Pegasus. Now, that looks different. Very colorful, like a peacock and a Pegasus and weird flower unicorn all combined. Gyre Hippogriffs. So There's a new keyword there called charge. Pretty much like rush. You just can't attack the turn they're summoned. So, you know, I didn't mention minions do have summoning sickness in this game. We have Spire Lich. We have Kite Archer. Roaming Monsters. Midnight Rogue. What is that? Peregrine Apparition. Oh, this one has a lot of stuff. Movement +3, Airborne and Voidwalk. That's a lot of moving there, buddy. Sling Pixies, Skirmishers of Mu, Nimbus Jin, Nightmare. Look at that guy. He's scared. Devil's Egg. So my frog actually swallowed one of my opponent's minions with this Devil's Egg. And the Devil's Egg still activates inside of a monster. So pretty much the minion is disabled inside, but artifacts and things like that, like this relic, will still activate in there. We got Doomsday Device. So here, there you go. That's a pretty much a nuclear bomb. Big boom there. 20 damage. That's an insta kill to an avatar if you can get a unit holding this Doomsday Device onto your opponent's avatar's space. So that's pretty cool. And then we got the sites here for the avatar or air deck. Thinking about Aang, the last airbender here. Lone Tower. Lone Tower. This one kind of gives you, there we go, another drop card. Mana rampant a little bit. So if you don't have this, you gain 1 mana this turn. So kind of gain some extra there. We got Gothic Towers, same effect. Oh, I like that art. Updraft Ridge, again, movement +1. Minions cannot enter the site on the ground. Mountain Pass. So again, lots of flying things will be going into that. Observatory. That's really cool, actually. You got what? 2 moons there, sun and a moon. We got Cloud City. City on the clouds. Once per turn, this site may fly to a nearby void, so it's just kind of moving around. And here's that card, Bottomless Pit. That's the one I was talking about. So when a non-airborne minion enters the site, kill it. So they just die. So sometimes you could like push people in there and all that good stuff. So that is the Avatar of Air. So again, that is the pre-constructed decks. They all have their own unique play styles. The art is fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy the gameplay. It's very strategic and tactical. Having that grid base adds a lot of decision making as you play the game. It's easy to learn, but there's again lots of nuance. You know, the Kickstarter kind of just ended, and everybody's getting their boxes and learning how to play. Everyone's waiting for beta because Kickstarter is so expensive right now. But hopefully, once the beta comes out, there's going to be a lot more gameplay videos. Everyone's going to kind of see how the game is and kind of get all the rules all streamlined and things start making sense. But again, a very fun game. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you live.